So day 5 of my Newfoundland hunt with Ironbound Outfitters. Now we're at Ironbound Camp this morning, or at the high point overlooking the ground surrounding Ironbound Camp. I took my trophy woodland caribou yesterday in what's without question one of the hardest stalks of my hunting career. So now we come up to this high point to spot for bear, which is a final piece of my Newfoundland Grand Slam. So moose and caribou in the bag, black bear to go. And as you can see here, we can spot glass for miles, and it really is the only way forward in this country. It is so hard terrain. You've got to spot one, even if it's 2 miles away, and stalk into it. So we're going to keep looking. So it's day 5, the penultimate day's hunting here at Ironbound, just tomorrow to go. We're back at Sharon Valley Camp after flying back from Ironbound this morning. We caught a ride with a helicopter that picked up the caribou meat, dropped off the Aga cat at Ironbound ready for next week's clients, and then picked up John and Richard, who have finished hunting now. So we managed to hitch a lift rather than hiking the 4.5 miles back through all of the spruce forests and bogs and nastiness that we hiked through yesterday. My bones are still a little bit sore after the stalk yesterday. It was probably one of the most physically and emotionally draining hunting experiences I've ever had, but the elation at taking such a beautiful caribou bull at the end made the whole exertions worthwhile. I was so pleased, and I was just absolutely exhausted. I didn't want to get up this morning at 5:45. We headed out of Ironbound up onto a really high point that overlooks all of the valleys, all the surrounding valleys. It was bitterly cold, but at least we could see how much game was there. Now the far side of the hill, where the moose traditionally are, it's not as densely populated with spruces and other bushes as this place at Sharon Valley, but for sure it offers a lot of cover opportunities for moose. And we saw a bull and a cow, but they have harvested 5 bulls off that particular stretch over the past few weeks, so the numbers are going to be down. As soon as some cows move in and start calling during the rut, then that should bring the bulls back. But there is a little bit of bull movement, but not very much. However, on the other side, on the far side of the lake, there were at least 8 or 9 caribou we saw this morning, including quite a big bull. So anybody coming to hunt caribou should have a pretty good stalk. The herds are significantly down from where they were 10 years ago, but apparently, according to the wildlife department here, they have stabilised. But I got mine yesterday, which was the important thing. So now the final piece of the Grand Slam is the black bear. I've got my moose, I've got my caribou, and now let's try and find a bear. But it's not that easy. There's not much cover up here. We need to go further down the valley, further towards the coast, where the cover is a lot deeper, it's a lot thicker, and then hopefully find a high point which will allow us to spot the gaps in between the bushes. See if we can find any bear up on the hill picking berries and whatnot. I've switched over barrels. I've gone for my 375 as opposed to my 300 Win Mag that I shot the moose and caribou with, and that's fitted with a Zeiss Victory Vary point 2.5 to 10 by 50, also a rail scope. Now the reason for the switch is black bear is still dangerous game, although a 300 Win Mag carrying the 187 grain bullet is more than sufficient to take it out. I'm not taking any chances. I've got aim points up to 300 yards. I won't take a shot that far anyway. I'm much in the same way as I did with my caribou. I will stalk in closer. I shot the caribou at 41 yards, even though I was offered 300, 270, 250, 235 and 150 yard shots. I enjoy the stalking. I've got my Realtree camo, I've got my Rivers West gear, so there's no reason I can't get any closer. So I want to try and get up close and personal with the black bear. Now, it has turned colder here over the past couple of days. This morning was bitterly cold, and the wind's really come in now. So I've switched up from my Field Pro smock to my ambush jacket, and I've even got this deer hunter rusky cap, which is keeping my ears warm at the moment. It's amazing how quickly the weather can change here. Now, after yesterday with bright sunshine, there was still a little bit of wind, but it wasn't as cold. The cold is coming in on the wind now, so once again, if you are coming out here, make sure you bring a selection of gear. I actually went too warm. I think I needed to come in with some slightly lighter weight gear for a lot of the climbing, a lot of the mountainous stuff, but for sure now I'm glad I bought some warm weather gear, some warm cold weather gear to keep me warm when we're sitting and spotting and stalking, because once you get up on these mountains here, there's nowhere to hide from the wind. You can tuck yourself behind rocks, but sooner or later you've got to pop your head out there and start glassing. So anyway, another big hike tomorrow, probably 8 or 9 miles to get to where we're going, and then we'll work our way slowly back up the valley. Should be here around dusk, nightfall tomorrow night, and hopefully with a black bear in tow. So I've got another 2 to 3 hours here waiting to see if anything comes in before nightfall, and I'll head back to camp, congratulate Jeanette on her moose, and then hopefully get a good night's sleep ready for tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow.